trust when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back. my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pocket. Count 'em like the 4-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Was Welcome back, everybody. It's the VCT Game Changers Academy presented by Gen.G. I'm your host, Lisa Malambry, aka Lucy May. And of course, as we've been seeing all day, it's Delta and Gompers bringing you guys the action. And we are now upon our final matchup of the day. We're in groups today. It's day number 1 of 3, and things are already getting pretty spicy. Before we move on, talk about our next matchup, let me see if I can give some updates on what's going down. I believe we've got GX3, Nothing to Lose, Gen.G. I think Gen.G's already done. Yeah, Gen.G's already done. They won all their games. And Just Breathe, currently leading each of their respective groups. And I believe we got little bit of Just Breathe as well, and Nothing to Lose on broadcast. So not Gen.G today, perhaps tomorrow, but we're gonna get GX3 next, and that's gonna be versus Unbind Crouch for the round 3 of pool play. Now, guys, GX3 kind of we've been seeing them a little bit on the circuit, and not when I say circuit, I just mean just women's Valorant competitive scene in general. Delta, let's talk about it a little bit and give a little intro for our viewers.
Right, so GX3 have been playing together for about 2 months, but even though this particular roster has been playing together for 2 months, the team has quite a bit of history, going back to Counter-Strike. So Ali Mon has been pretty much an OG in the Counter-Strike community, bringing her skills and talents to the Valorant world and finding a new group of ladies to kind of hash things out with. And they've been doing great work through many of the women's tournaments and game changers as well. So this new roster, for example, having a amazing fragger like Maddie Sun. So she used to play for kind of the Awa Awa team, kind of switching to Gen.G Team Bumble, and she brought her talents to GX3, and she's been just amazingly cracked and helping to round out this amazing roster.
Yeah, GX3 has been an amazing squad as these 5 that have come together and they've been dominating since. We're really excited to see what they're going to be doing up next versus Unbind Crouch Gompers. Let's talk about it a little bit. They've been around at least kind of just since the beginning of what is it like, with Galorants, truly, right?
Yeah, CC is Cray. Sorry, I was thinking of the name. She is an original member of the Galorants Yuletide Bra all the way back in like January, and Jenna was on the roster for Galorants X Gen G Proving Grounds all the way back in February. So they have been around in the Galorant scene for a pretty long time.
Yeah, and here they are. I built Jenna and Jasper, I believe, are a couple of new names for the roster. So we're gonna see what they're gonna be bringing here today. It's round number 3. Our map for this round number 3, it's going to be split. So giving it over to you, Delta and Gompers, for the final game of day number 1.
Hey, so like we've been saying on Vine Crouch, they've been a team since pretty much the beginning of the Galorants, playing through different leagues and such, and doing quite well, being typically like the semifinals or the finals in them. But there's a new iteration of this team, so don't have too much experience together in terms of this particular roster, but a great group of ladies nonetheless. They'll be fighting against GX3, who, like, we have pretty much sung their praises because they've done quite well in prior tournaments. And let's see, we don't have all of the picks out just yet. About 3 members have been locked in, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see. Oh, yep, we have Maddie on the jet. That she tends to be the duelist for the squad, typically on the jet, because again, I mentioned how cracked of a player she is. And let's see, do we have? Oh, I saw a KO and got a little bit excited. KO is a good pick for Splint.
Choose your
So
agent.
they're the tight quarters, the tight walls, making it a bit easier to suppress people. But I don't think we'll be so lucky to see a KO for this last map of. Oh, but a breach. Okay, I like it. We don't see breach too much in NA, but if GX3 is able to make it work with kind of the flash and dash play, with the breach flashing, the jet dashing onto site, we will see some very explosive plays coming out from GX3, as is typical of them. For Unbind Crouch, we do have a double duelist play. We have an Omen and like Killjoy coming out. Killjoy or Cypher tends to work well on this map, and then a Viper. So yeah, I do like the comps from both of these teams. Each one a little bit different in terms of what they bring in terms of aggression, and how they want to control and play this map out. I do like that GX3 is able to capitalize on their Astra pick because they've been a team together. When you have an Astra, you really need to have the coordination for the star placement and a complete trust of your team. So, yeah, hopefully they'll be able to capitalize on that as we already see stars coming out on the map.
Yeah, most definitely. That Astra. I'm hoping to see some Astra Killjoy plays come out of the blue because I love those. Those are literally the best things I've probably seen in this game. The coordination there is huge, and it is really easy to defend a site that way. But coming out right here, they're kind of playing a little back, getting some information on how the team plays on the first round, which is huge because right here is the time where they can really realize, when we get these guns, how are we going to push a site? What's going to happen? And, what are we going to do in these situations? But on the dot, they're kind of just waiting here. Reyna and Raze are watching mid, hoping to someone's going to kind of peek out through that wall that Jan has set down for them. But nothing's really going to happen here. They're just going to sit back and relax a little bit.
Yeah, very slow round so far. Not really sure where they're deciding to go. Either direction is kind of dangerous for Unbind Crouch. A site has 3 members. Meanwhile, the B site, would have been typically held by a Cypher, but look at all of that utility, both Killjoy and the stars in place. And they already have a sense for the B push because of all that Killjoy utility pushed out already.
Oh, and Mel's gonna put down her paint shells, try to get a pick off, but Anyan, Anyan is just gonna get that pick off. Annie Mall, sorry. And right now it's a 4v5. They have that spike down. They are playing their post plant positions, but Maddie's kind of watching this, trying to get this pick off Rage, and she gets Raging. She is playing pretty harsh there. Anyan getting flashed, but taking out Lace. Lace had no idea she was there, and Maddie's getting in. And I know what you mean when you say Maddie is the dog here. She is going crazy with that classic, and she is not holding back at all. Maddie, get that ace. She is amazing.
Oh,
She's getting this down. She could honestly get it, but Anyan getting her mid-air. 2 4Ks in one game. Anyan and Maddie, they're showing up. They're really bringing the heat to the teams.
oh, that's an understatement. My goodness, those two, they're going to be the last 2 left alive every round. We're going to have a spicy map on our hands. So I did like that Unbind Crutch to play things a bit slow. GX3 able to get all that information though that they were coming through Heaven onto the B site, but nonetheless, Anyan and Maddie able to do kind of a one-on-one 1v1 duel at the end of that last round.
Kind of have 3 people mid. Lace getting ready for a blind here. Blind's out, but Maddie, they don't know no one is blind. Maddie goes in hoping to get a pick or two, but completely gets annihilated by Unbind Crouch there. She had no idea that blind did not come forth. But, in the end, it's going to help out Unbind a little bit. They're going to go over to A site. It's completely cleared. You have Rage and Penguin watching this angle, waiting for, the flank that might come to be, but it seems like they're just gonna wait there for a little bit, and they're pushing on the site. They're gonna get the spike down, but they're slowly pushing together on the GX3 side.
Yeah, already waiting for this rotate to happen. May not even be able to get onto site.
One enemy remaining.
And Annie Mall getting taken out by Raging Penguin. Raging Penguin with that 2K. That was huge on their side. They really, they hit away from that blind, and that won them that round there.
Yeah, Unbind Crouch was able to punish GX3 trying to push through mid, and then we saw excuse me, Animal try to pinch them as well, but said, oh, no, everyone died. Let me go back and try to hold on to the B site. So Yeah, it seems like they will now be on a rifle round trying to regain that lead they lost.
Lace getting ready for another flash, being a little more cautious this time. Jan and Maddie going in, getting at least 2 picks for the team. You know, that was pretty huge. Maddie getting picked off by Anyan, but Anyan's gonna start getting in here a little bit aggressive, taking that vandal away from Maddie's body. They have the ult down, they have that Empress coming out. Anyan, you know, they're kind of waiting a little bit to see if anybody else is waiting inside of ropes there, but no one's there, and they're gonna go in on Jan, blinding her. Although she's waiting in that corner, waiting for an indication. She gets it! Breach! Going up there, helping her out a little bit. They're kind of playing together there, which is huge because Lace and Jan, the epic duo going on there. Breach and Sage, we love to see it.
So this time around, you know, with having that weapons advantage, they were able to punish Unbind Crouch in mid, kind of get those picks, regroup, and then we saw Jan pretty much hold down B Heaven quite well. And that initial wall we saw down mid was also very helpful in trying to delay things, having to shoot that out, stalling things a little bit further. So we will see probably more stall tactics coming out from the Sage for this half.
They're waiting a little bit. You know, Anyan's getting up here by herself, a little bit aggressive. But, you know, Maddie is playing Garage here, waiting for anything, you know, a peek or something with Breach as her backup. They're kind of just waiting. You know, the epic duo there. They're sitting in that corner.
Yeah, you
but
can see like that typical flash and dash play about to go in, but it's just when they're going to pop it.
you know, they don't hear anything, so they're not going to pop it just yet. But that's the flaw in this. You know, you have no information that they're there, but hopefully with this Omen smoke coming out, you know, he gets that blind out. CC's Prey getting taken out by Maddie, but you know, her duo gets taken out as well. She no longer has those blinds to get those picks off down in Garage, but she's gonna play here with Annie Mall, trying to get a pick out of Heaven, but Mel just wide swinging that and taking her out with it.
And able to get on to, well, not exactly get onto site, because Animal's there holding down the fort.
Oh, and Jan with a flank going on there, getting that 2K so that it can be a 2-and-2.
Oh, that was a beautiful execute though from GX3. So we were talking about that flash and dash play, trying to figure out when would be the perfect time to pop it, but also having, you know, Animal on that site with the turret. The turret was pretty much their point of contact. So once the turret pretty much said, yep, there's someone in Garage, they were able to execute that play, able to get control of Garage and essentially win them that round. Now Unbind Crouch is opting to do a save. We only see 2 SMGs coming out, but as they're approaching this A site, look at all that utility waiting for them. I mean, it's just a bonanza of stars of Killjoy utility.
Yeah, one thing I've seen from GX3 is that they do not play around with their utility. They use it to the best of their ability and it works. But right here, it seems like they did push past all of that, but her utility, once again, her turret there is going to take out Rach and Penguin. Was not prepared for that at all. But they do have the site, they have the spike down. They're playing for their post plants. It's a 3v4 situation, so that they do play together fairly well. So they could get this retake fairly easy, but she does get pulled in by her own Astra. You know, Maddie kind of got a little bit messed up by Allie, you know, on her own team. It kind of pulled her in with the rest of everyone else, but they did have that play together, and, you know, it worked out in the end.
Well, you said it was a 3v4 retake. I would argue it was a 3v5 retake because, again, the turret just doing work. Animal placing it in a great location, and we saw a turret kill. I always love when those come out. Turret being a valuable member of the team, so yeah.
More love for turrets.
Exactly. So GX3 was able to, you know, pretty much close down the A site. And this time we see those stars being planted in garage, making that much more difficult if they decide to approach.
Maddie getting aggressive once again. You know, playing with Breach here, they play together so well. And that's something I'm going to emphasize a lot here because I've noticed, like, they have a ton of strats that they go by. You know, these Astra Stars, they're utilizing it well with this Breach. And I think the Breach play is really working here. You know, these flashes are aggravating for the enemy team. And Lace just knows what they're doing here. Jiggle peeking this angle for Anyan, giving her a little bit of a headache there. But they know that they're there. The showstopper's coming out. Melche almost taking someone out, but not being able to. Anyan getting that pick off Maddie, but Lace is gonna work it here with that 2K. You know, but now everyone was taken out, and Jan's left by herself. You know, only really having a res, but she's gonna use it on Animal. She's like, I'm not dealing with this by myself. She has 2 seconds on that heal, and she's gonna use it.
A little bit more doable with that resurrection, but we do have Raging Penguin on the lurk.
Dan taking one out, Anyan taking another. Although she does take one, and Raging Penguin is so low, she could literally classic her, you know, give her a little bit of a right click, and she takes her out, getting that 3K, and giving herself 4 points on the board for her team. You know, GX3, huge retake there. Jan, wonderful res.
Well, yes, definitely needed that buddy to be able to do that retake, and it worked beautifully. And like you said, the breach is working just amazing here. We don't see a breach very often, but Lace is just making it work. Like you said, the blinds coming out, trying to make it that much more difficult. We even saw a rolling thunder. We don't see those too often.
Yeah.
Trying to delay Unbind Crouch's push onto the site. You were exactly right. They have strats for days, it seems, and making Unbind Crouch's work that much more difficult for them.
You see, trying to break down that wall to give her duelists an easier push on this, but Astra's not making it any easier with her stars, obstructing their vision. They're gonna have to peek out that, you know, in order to get that site. But it seems like Sage and Breach here are already sitting, waiting for a push inside of Heaven. But they're not going to push it. They're going to be a little sneaky. They're going to go down A site because Killjoy's kind of up there. She has a little bit of information, you know, she's waiting and listening in, but she doesn't know that they're still watching these angles like hawks, honestly.
Another star going down. Just the flexibility of having Astra being able to flex things out. This lockdown will try to clear out GX3. But with a full 5-on-5 retake and popping this out early, it's be difficult to capitalize on.
Oh, and Maddie getting a 2K. You know, Anyan blinded, but a little bit too far for Maddie's taste. So Maddie kind of got that 2K pretty easy there. It's a 5v3. It seems like they already have that spike down. They're gonna have to play a pretty safe post plan position here. But, you know, they're all running in together. But CC's Cray using that ult, honestly, that is huge. They're going to be able to dismember the team. You know, their health is going to get lowered every second that they're in that smoke. But Jan is going to take everyone out and disable that smoke. And Viper's Pit gone. 5 points on the board for GX3.
Yeah, the attempt to, you know, so you saw the wall coming up obstructing Heaven, and that made, you know, retake a little bit more difficult, and Viper's Pit being popped as well. But GX3 just has a different decision on how they want to play that. They're able to use not just the Astra Stars, but Killjoy's utility for the retake quite well. And now GX3 inching closer in terms of their lead, inching further away, I mean, in terms of their lead. And Unbind Crouch this time having a split approach.
Maddie is just feeling it today. She has the confidence that we are all looking for in our lives. And Lace getting in there with those blinds. And he has that classic. He's like, I know I'm going to blind you. I'm not going to waste a single breath of air. but here Ali taking out 2. Almost taking out 3. Anyan getting that pick off Ali, playing by herself here with that Empress, but Jan is not gonna let Anyan get another one. Taking her out, making it a 6-2. They are playing the retakes so well. They're 6-2 is a big gap.
My goodness, that aggression coming from this team, I mean, we expected it, but seeing it at work was just amazing. So the A site, they made sure to shut down any push on the A site with that flash and dash play. Saw them chasing them in sewers pretty much, and then to proceed to make sure that the B site push was on lock as well. So whichever site Unbind Crouch decide to go, there is pretty much terror waiting for them. And there goes a bit of information. Turret was able to stop to see if anyone was going to flank, if there's going to be any pressure pushing a site, but unfortunately denied that bit of information, leaving Unbind Crouch to approach mid with not the information they need.
Raging Penguin's kind of playing a little bit of A here, but Anyan's gonna go in with her Viper, and they're gonna play here. They know Jan's sitting back there. She's been sitting back there before, kind of using these repetitions to their advantage. And Ali, although she's just kind of sitting there, down in hell, just waiting for people to peek her, and Jenna taking out Ali, not letting her get another chance. But Jan here has this res. You know, she can really utilize it now that Raging Penguin took out their own Killjoy, getting Maddie's son back in the game. And we've seen it before. Maddie has a huge clutch factor. She is 100% going to be able to at least get a pick or 2 off of this. But Jenna proving me wrong, getting that 3K and getting blinded by Lace, having a rough time there. Raging Penguin taking away the confidence Lace had for a second there. You know, they did bring it a little bit back. They have that round down, and now they have a little bit of more money to use on their side.
Yeah, my goodness. Raging Penguin definitely being the hero for that round, able to pretty much sneak up from the A side after that pick and clean things up. And that was enough to make GX3 want to rethink things before they continue on this half. We see a timeout on the board, but you know, they're in a comfortable spot at the moment. Their econ, their wallet is pretty hefty. We even have an op on Maddie, which I'm worried for on Unbind Crouch. You know, she's been scary this map so far, and now they've given her an op to unleash. So yeah, it's gonna be a little scary.
Yeah, most definitely. Her shots have been on point today. That 2K we saw earlier was huge. She really gave it to them pretty hard, and now seeing her pull out an op, you know, especially since we've been seeing her jet skills, a little scary. You're definitely right. We're going to see some pretty nasty plays come out of Maddie's side, and we have this beautiful view of a garden as I speak. It's very calming to see.
Very
But,
fun.
you know, we're going to start the round off, and, you know, 3 seconds on the clock. We're waiting. But as we start, it seems like Maddie's going to be sitting A with this op. We do have 2 people on A, but it is going to be a little bit of a split push here. They're going to try to get a pick or 2, get some information down, see where they can push, what they can push. But generally, the spike is down B, so maybe we're leaning towards a little bit more of a confident B push here. But, you know, who knows?
Yeah, on Minecraft is wise to wait. They have noticed the aggression they've seen from GX3 pushing out. They want to see if they're going to extend themselves, give a little peek so that they can punish it and figure out which site to go on.
Mel J and Annie Mall kind of sitting there waiting, and Anyan getting blinded, really being dismembered there. But Jan, you know, we need to give some credit to Jan here because she is on fire. She is taking out everyone that she possibly can, and she's not letting anybody take her out. She has this 2v2 situation here. Ali getting a little bit aggressive up here, but you know, Jan is just kind of following her, giving her some backup, but they have no idea that they're already A site. Jenna with Raging Penguin, they're gonna ult on site. A little bit of a waste of an ult, but you know, they have the right idea in mind here. They're gonna get the site pretty much for free. They're gonna have to play a pretty rough retake, especially with some Killjoy utility watching, you know, these flanks and stuff like that.
Right, on the A side will be the battle. It looks like Ali will be using the wall to come, making it that much more difficult, but it will be on the wrong side because they're waiting on Spike for
One
this
enemy
push.
remaining.
Oh, and Jan
Last
once
player
again on
standing.
fire with the 3K. Allie taking over what Jan had created. She really utilized that. She gave their team another point on the board. Huge defense. You know, they play so well. I say it too many times, but I feel like I don't say it enough. Their positioning, their strategies, everything. It is amazing. I wish I heard what their comms were like, because it's probably fire in the chat. I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I do like what I'm seeing from Unbind Crouch. Raging Penguin was able to get them that clean plant on the A site with that lurk approach. So having pressure on both sides of the map is definitely the play to go. But when you have players like Jan taking out half your team in mid, it makes your attack that much more difficult. So Jan multiple times has been making quite a bit of noise, chaos in mid, and then walling it up, making sure no one comes in behind her.
Kind of playing a little bit back here, waiting for something to come out. They have 3 people on P site, so it is looking pretty tough here for Unbind Crouch's side. Maddie getting that pick off of Raging Penguin. Raging Penguin normally sits back and waits for a flank, but it seems like here she was getting a little bit aggressive down mid. You know, she kind of peeked that a little bit, and Maddie had that upper hand, but here they're gonna wait here for either information or something, but Viper's gonna get that smoke down. He's gonna get that flash out, and getting 2 people even without them being flashed. You know, Lace, confident and sure of herself. She's getting there. She's out there, and they're getting the spike down over on Unbind Crouch's side. Owen's gonna TP out, give himself a little bit more of a better spot to be in.
Turret out. One enemy remaining.
Animal taking out Mel J, leaving Jenna all by herself, having to fend for herself, and she takes out Animal. Looking so close for Jenna on Jan, but Jan taking out Jenna. Really, really good aim. She was only 9 health there. You know, it was looking a little close for Jenna there.
Last round before the switch.
Can someone get this? Thank you.
Placing sentry.
Come on, let's go.
All right. Coming here, we have Maddie watching this angle with the op. She's getting Raging Penguin's kind of sitting there. They're sitting together. Maddie getting that pick off Raging. You know, once again, Raging, she knows Maddie has that op, but she just doesn't know where she is. She's kind of having a little bit of a hard time. You know, playing against Maddie there. Maddie having that upper hand, especially with that operator. Once again, looking pretty deadly on her side, but they are going to push up B. But Sage is going to slow that off, so they can't really do any much more of a commit than they already have. They're going to push up Heaven pretty aggressively here with Raze getting picked off by Jan. And now Omen trying to get out of that situation, but getting taken out by Lace, leaving it to a 9-3. Wow. You know, GX3 had a really, really good play there, and it was looking pretty good. It is looking pretty good.
Oh, it's looking very good. GX3 doing great work, as you mentioned before. It seemed to have strats and for days, making that much more difficult for Unbind Crouch to approach. We saw, you know, middle of the half, operator coming out, and when it alternates sites, you know, Unbind Crouch makes it, they can't figure out which site that she's gonna be prompted up on. you can see like she sometimes shuts down mid, blocking rotates. She will sometimes be interrupted at the A site. So that lent them with a pretty comfortable lead as we are switching sides.
You see, getting ready for that lineup one way. Oh, but it misses and she freaks out. You know, fair enough. I'd freak out too if my one way kind of messed up there, but she's gonna probably try it again. Not really. She's leaving it there, but it's okay. Raging Penguin's gonna get a little bit of information here. Maddie's there, but Maddie's scary. You know, you don't want to really pick a fight with Maddie. So Penguin's gonna kind of back up here, but they are playing a little bit split. You know, you have Annie Mall and her crew trying to push a B site, but it seems like they are gonna regather and have B be their original plan.
Having a slow approach. It's like they will decide to go to the B site, which is pretty light at the moment. But remember, they have that flash and dash available for them on the attack now. So it should be pretty easy to get on to some of these sites.
Oh, and they are gonna get aggressive here. They're gonna go in, but Breach blinding his own teammate. Not his own teammate, sorry. Blinding Jenna there. Getting that pick off. Cole Annie Mall. Taking him out.
No.
Melj with her paint shells taking out Jan. Looking pretty good for the defending side. Allie getting a huge flank in for the team. Making it a 10-3. Allie really sneaked it up there. She got that flank and getting that 2K. That was huge. Allie, you know, won them that round. That gave them the opportunity to kind of not let Unbind Crouch get that four on the board.
Yeah, Allie definitely being very sneaky. She had the patience to make sure she got both kills. And yeah, winning the pistol round for this half is something that's going to be a bit scary for Unbind Crouch because they have the momentum going into the half that they need, the econ boost as well. As we see them approaching the B site, even though it's being smoked out, they are in control of Garage. And again, the very powerful flash and dash plays and the availability of the stars to kind of clear out sight preemptively. Yeah, it's going to be a very full send on the B site.
Once again, Maddie pushing in, getting aggressive, but she's by herself. Her team, you know, they were a little bit dismembered for a second there, but they regathered themselves and they're getting in on this site and they're taking it. Maddie taking that pick off Jenner with Lace right behind her on Yon. And they already have this site. Allie playing the infamous spot that she does. You know, she has the information that they are heaven. She's given that information out and she's waiting.
Oh, but someone else on the flank.
Variable, remove one enemy remaining.
Oh,
What?
but it doesn't work out. Maddie getting that pick off Melj. You know, they play this very well. In general, they're just a very confident, very well put together team, and that's hard to go up against.
Yeah, Unbind Crouch just keeps getting flanked by a different person. It makes it that much more difficult to kind of focus on your retake when you're gonna have to look behind you. GX3, I love the way they're trying to get onto these sites. I saw, you know, the snake bite coming from Unbind Crouch trying to break up the aggression, but it just wasn't enough.
Most definitely. Right here, we have Annie Mall getting a little aggressive by herself. She's just putting a turret there for a little bit of a flank watch, but they kind of have everyone pushing up mid, really put together here, but a lot of people are sitting down in B. Race, hearing some information, she's coming back, but they're already pushing up, trying to get some picks off of the defending side, and that Raze Broomba's gonna disable Jan for a little bit there.
Yeah, and with all that noise they made on the B site, it looks like they were able to bait out the rotates and deciding to capitalize on that to the A site.
Raging Penguin taking out Ollie, making it a 4v3. Yeah, Jan, she's gonna get the spike down. They do have a couple of utility that they can use here. Lace getting aggressive up there, trying to take one out for the team so they can at least have some numbers. But right here, they're gonna play together, try to get this retake. But, you know, Jan with the slows, she's gonna try to at least, you know, hold it down a little bit on the 4.
Finished.
Seems like here Annie Mall's coming up through heaven,
One
hopefully
enemy
getting a
remaining.
nice flank in. She's going and she's running and she sees her and she takes her out. Jenna, thinking that she was gonna be heaven based off of where her utility was. She looked up heaven and she wasn't there.
Oh, Animal again with the flanks. You can see, like, sometimes it's a bit of a con to, not play with your team, leaving your teammates hanging, but
Calling my
she's able to clean up perfectly with these flanks, and Unbind Crouch just hasn't been able to respond. And we're already at match point. The econ of Unbind Crouch looking a little rough, even though, because we saw an operator buy, and yeah, this is gonna be a tough match point to try to come back from.
Anyan and Jenna having this cross hold out of the sight. They're kind of waiting there, but Annie Mall's waiting for
You
the
should
perfect
run.
opportunity to use her ult. She sets it down. Her lockdown is down. Now they're just kind of waiting for the perfect opportunity to push, but Maddie is being held by this cross, and she gets taken out by Anyan. They're a little fearful for their life. Omen having all of this sight on everyone on site. Jenna's kind of just watching there, but she wasn't able to do anything. She was just kind of sitting there for a little bit too long.
Wow. 3v2, 3v1, and the map is won by GX3. A very clean 13-3 for GX3. Wow. I mean, we talked about this, how impressive this team is coming into the Game Changers Academy with their storied history and their ability to just win with such strategic grace in the last few tournaments. So a great showing from GX3, and we are most likely going to see them tomorrow for the playoffs. Is that right?
Sorry.
Well, we don't have the scores out just yet, but I'm pretty sure that Battlefly will be updated with the group stages score so that we'll be able to figure out exactly who we'll see tomorrow at the top 8. And yeah, great map of GX3 and Unbind Crouch. And that was a great day of Valorant. Anything stick out to you, Gompers, before we close?
I'm just completely amazed. I heard that you said Maddie was going to play well, and she really did bring it. So I'm really hoping to see a ton of amazing players out there tomorrow.
Yes. So tomorrow, like she said, we will be back with the top 8. So the top 2 teams from the 4 groups that we're playing today will be playing to see who can get to the Game Changers Academy champion for July. So this has been Dr. Delta, and with me, Gompers, and thank you for joining us this evening.